hello, and welcome to the Bucket List Show. I'm Tammy Crandell with Journey Venture Travel and Tours and Vero Real Estate, and I'm here with my co-host Rebecca Danise with Vero Real Estate as well, and she helps us with property management and all that good stuff with Vero. So we're glad to have her area of expertise here with us today.
Thank you.
And of course, we are so happy to have in-house again today Calvin Johnson with Visita Home Inspection and Services. So welcome.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Now, of course, the intention of our show, we always like to cover, is to serve you so we can help you fill your bucket to live your most abundant life. And one way that we can do that is by providing you with valuable information that you may be unaware that you don't know. And that's why we brought Calvin with us today.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what are we going to be covering today?
Today we're going to cover some pretty common missed items and discounts, or how to deal with some issues as far as getting discounts with the homeowners insurance.
Okay.
Perfect. That's
fantastic. Good. And I'm sure there's an application process for that. We're going to walk through all those things here today.
Exactly, and stuff. And maybe one day we even redo it to where we can actually show the actual products and the services that
fantastic.
That's a good idea.
That we provide.
Great idea. Great idea.
Right.
We always have great content from you, so we're so happy to see that we can bring things to the audience, whether you're watching us on WRPB or you're listening to us via the podcast. Always great information for you to share. So thank you so much for sharing that great information with us.
Yes, for sure.
Right. Fantastic.
Okay. So what would be the first common insurance discount?
Okay, that would be to have hurricane shutters installed covering all the windows around the home. We're finding that now when the insurance companies come out, or when you see our photos and stuff, they're now looking for those stickers verified by the manufacturer that says hurricane rated, Miami-Dade rated.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, I wouldn't have thought
and
of
that
that.
actually has to be on the shutter itself?
Right, yeah, it has to be on the shutters itself. Some insurance companies would go ahead and still allow the shutters to be rated as A or B or C, depending on, I guess, the underwriters. But definitely, if you can have those stickers on the shutter, then there's no shadow of doubt about what rating those shutters are.
Gotcha.
And then that would apply to an insurance discount?
Right, absolutely.
So there's different types of shutters, too, as far as
rating,
value, or actually that it works? Is that the right word?
Well, it's more so as far as rating, because you can have an A rating, which is pretty much the max rating system.
Okay.
And then there's a B, then there's a C, then you go down to plywood, then you got to no cover at all.
So that has a lot to do with the wind that it can sustain during a hurricane?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And so what we're finding is a lot of homes that we're inspecting don't have those stickers. So that's where we want to kind of try to deal with the homes that do have A rating shutters, but don't have the A rating sticker applied to it.
Okay.
So the ways you can fix that is, of course, we have an engineer to come out and recertify. The other also, you can have the manufacturer who installed the shutters to pull the file for the installation and get that. And send you out stickers, because of the fact that they know what they installed. It's a record of the type of installation that they had on your system.
So what is the likelihood, I know that we went through a big building boom between 2004 and 2007, in that time frame. Are those companies easily attainable, or is it easier to bring someone like yourself out to do these things?
Some are still easily to reach, and then some that are difficult or went out of business, you can probably still reach the manufacturers of those ones, because of the fact that they're tracked.
Okay.
As far as what we have seen so far, that whoever installed your shutters purchased it from one or two distributors or manufacturers, and therefore they should be able to probably still pull that record. If not, then you always have the engineer that you can call on to recertify and put those stickers on.
That's what you're there for, right?
Right, yeah, exactly.
And then the customer will get a discount on the insurance, but also from a health and safety factor, They want to make sure they have shutters that actually work.
Right, exactly, because you do have different ratings as far as the shutters
Okay.
and what have you. So you want to get the max out of your shutters or max out of your discount.
Now, what I find is, and specifically with resales,
Right.
How do you know that they have all the shutters that they need for the house?
Yeah, we don't really know. We can somewhat guess based on what we see, from experience counting windows and stuff. Because we do go around, we take all 4 sides of the home, and we count the windows and doors.
Okay.
And then we go to where the homeowner or property owner stores them and kind of get a general idea that it's going to be 3, size windows.
So the math works.
Right. Yeah.
Right, yeah, so that's good. Back to the numbers.
Yeah. We can't get it down to where there's one missing, from a window, but we can kind of count whether or not you got 3 or 4 enough coverage for 3 or 4 windows or the entire house.
Yeah, 'cause I would imagine that's a real challenge, sometimes because I know that, on the initial build, they've got them up on the windows and they're being inspected. But then once that's done,
Right.
you're just trusting that whoever sold it to you is selling them with the
Yeah, you're not
appropriate
missing
number
5.
of,
Yeah.
Right.
membranes.
Or all the screws. When on a new construction, they're putting shutters on new construction homes too, right?
Right. Yeah.
Is there a minimum standard that the county or the various towns have?
No, you can have any type of ratings as far as shutters
Okay.
that you want put on your home, but
Okay.
definitely.
But it's not required.
Right, because you
Okay.
can build a home and still not put anything on
Right.
on the
Oh,
window.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
But
interesting. Okay.
but as far as
Surprised it's
far
not
as we know,
required.
it's of course recommended you build a new house. Go ahead and throw that cost into the construction part of it,
Right.
and that way you can receive those discounts and incentives.
Okay.
Now, is the cost for that service, is that based on the size of home that you're going out to do this type of service for, or?
All of them are averaging about $150 for us to come out and to give you a wind mitigation inspection report.
Okay.
Okay. And while we're there, you can always, most homeowners pick our brain as far as additional things because of the effect of our years of experience in the industry and what have you. So we're there for you. So please, by all means, ask all the questions you can possibly.
Do you actually put up the shutters if it was a storm, just out of curiosity?
No,
No,
we
you-
have an
okay.
outsourced service that we
Okay.
can provide that
Okay,
Okay.
but at least you have something to help us. Okay,
Right,
so
exactly.
That's a
So
good
we
idea.
don't, right. So we just,
Okay.
we kind of have the connection for the next part outside of ourselves
Perfect.
if you need it. So we don't always just recommend say, hey, Google search storm, shutter
Right.
guy or something like that. We do have a list of people that we can refer you.
And that's important too.
Right.
Right.
Another
Exactly.
way to serve customers.
And
Yeah.
so what is the standard recommendation for a person to get a wind mitigation? Like I know insurance companies are always looking for ways to increase the cost on their end.
Right.
And that wind mitigation, of course, results in a reduction usually.
Right.
So how often should a homeowner be doing that type of service?
Well, according to documents and the forms we filled out, it says every 5 years. But we're finding that a lot of insurance companies are now having it done, more often.
Okay.
And if you're switching from one company to the other company, because some changes, the amount of photos that we were taking at one point now have increased, and insurance companies want those
want
additional
more.
photos that at first you never had to show. Also, the permits on file. The insurance companies would like to see hard copies or copies of the permits from the building department.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
we're inserting that into the inspection report as well now. Where
Okay.
never did that. We gave them the number, and they accepted it. It was good.
Good.
Now, they're not just taking the number anymore.
Oh,
Document.
Yeah.
Well, and I would imagine that things are, technology has changed at such a level that you can kind of recreate things.
Right, you can.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I totally get it. Yeah. And then in regards to, if a person's recently had a re-roof done or that sort of thing, should they get a wind mitigation at that point?
Oh yes, because
Okay.
you're now can qualify for a better rate on your roof.
Oh.
Okay.
I
Okay.
call you Calvin.
Okay.
So we got one discount is the sticker for our shutters.
Right.
What would be another one?
The other one would definitely be your roof, which
Okay.
is what we just going to get into
Oh,
there.
see,
Yep.
nice segue. See?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
So yeah, if you get a new roof put on, absolutely, I highly recommend going ahead and calling us out to do an updated wind mitigation 4-point inspection.
Okay.
So you can get those discounts.
Okay.
One of the other things we do, part of our service, is we do give recommendations. So if you
Okay.
something missing or there's some sort of improvements and stuff that we know that you can do to receive those discounts, we're there for that as
Okay.
well. And we can guide you through that whole entire process as well.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's good. So that's 2 discounts, so that helps.
Yeah, and which is really the 2 biggest to me, because opening protection, which definitely
Of
damage
course.
can be caused damage if wind blows the window open,
Of course.
and then your roof.
So if someone didn't do the full roof, but they updated the installation and, where you could see the light coming through or things of that nature, would that add value or a discount possibly, or that's just normal maintenance?
You're talking about far as
Installation, just updating tiles and, things
Oh,
of that
okay.
nature, that
Okay,
maybe
more-
there was a crack or...
okay, more so repairs. Yeah,
Yes.
repairs are always recommended. If you have something that's broken, cracked, missing,
Okay.
damaged, you want to get those fixed, because if the insurance company aware of it, then they can also drop you because of it.
Okay.
And so, because it has a potential to be a loss to them.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
So if you see a broken tile, go ahead and fix it. Fix it now while while it's easy, and perhaps you still have the other part,
Right.
Okay.
you need other pieces.
Exactly.
And so
Exactly.
that I recommend
Okay.
throwing some glue on.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
throw some glue on that.
Okay, perfect. So those are 2 good common things. What's the next one?
The other one, a lot of times people don't realize that trampolines in the backyard. That's a
Who has trampolines
Razor-
in their backyard?
I have a
I know you do.
trampoline. I have a
That's a-
trampoline in my backyard.
that's a raise your rate right there in a minute.
Okay.
Yep. Oftentimes people don't know. They buy the trampolines. Kids grow up, the trampoline's still there. Take a picture. Insurance company. We went out there to lower your insurance, and insurance company spotted a trampoline and says, "Hey, now I'm going up even higher." But we don't. So
The liability, I understand.
Right. Yeah. So with the liability and stuff with the trampolines and stuff is, they're great to have, but
They would cost you
They
more.
can cost you.
But it's also helpful to know that
Right.
if you've got that liability piece, then it's better safe than sorry
Right.
type of process. You want to make sure that you're covered in the event you've got some kids that come over and visit with your kids, and they're jumping and somebody inadvertently hurts themselves.
Right, or even if you're not home and one of the kids in the neighborhood come back and jump on it.
Yeah.
Good point.
So,
Exactly, because I don't. Of course, we don't get into it, but we don't know the liability. Well, we know a person can hurt themselves, but we don't know the liability of the insurance company saying, "Hey, we didn't cover you for having a trampoline. So anybody that got
Right.
hurt while you have a trampoline, we didn't know
It's
about
on
it.
you.
It's on you.
Okay.
Hey,
Gotcha.
coverage denied." And-
Very
yeah.
good point.
Well, that's
Very
good,
good
too,
point.
because people do have a lot of those.
Oh yeah. We have one ourselves and stuff, but
And they don't have any restrictions on, the big fancy swings and the jungle ones, the big high wood ones and
Right,
nothing like
yeah,
that.
that-
Just the trampoline at
yeah,
this
the
point.
trampoline is definitely. I know, and I've seen rate increase because of people having trampolines,
Gotcha.
and we do aerial shots, with the drone, so it's kind of hard to hide that.
Oh,
when
yeah,
we get
now
the
you can't
insurance
hide
company.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
because
That's true.
now we're doing
Is
that.
is that a way for you to get a good look at the roof as well?
Right, exactly. Overall, and then it also educates you on areas that you can always potentially watch or do maintenance to
Of course.
and stuff. Because we know some areas always would require routine caulking or things where leaves and those type of things will pile up on a certain area. We can point those out and say, hey, every 6 months, because of the trees that you have here, take a leaf blower, blow this area in the back portion of your house. That way-
Have you ever done any form of recommendation for tree removal?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have done that.
Anything that's touching
Okay.
anything that's touching the roof, we would
Okay.
definitely recommend them to have
Okay.
those things.
Well, I
cut
want
back.
to talk more to that, but we're going to take a break, quick
Okay.
couple of minutes.
Okay.
But we have a lot more to talk about,
All right,
obviously. So we'll get back to it after this break. Are you looking to buy, sell, or lease your commercial property? Do you want to sell your business? Do you need a property manager? The Jeremiah Barron and Company commercial real estate experts have managed over $1 billion in commercial real estate transactions. Our agents focus on each client's specific needs to deliver results. For more information, visit treasurecoastcommercialrealestate.com. Located in St. Lucie West, Barron Academy is a private school that caters to students with autism and other unique needs. Barron Academy hosts grades K to 8, offering paced lessons and smaller class sizes guided by a passionate team of experienced educators. Curriculums are tailored to each student's abilities, which builds confidence while nurturing learning. For more information, visit exceptionalacademymypsl.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Rebecca Danise from the Bucket List Show, co-host with Tammy, and we still have Calvin here. Again, part of the idea behind the show is we want to serve people so they can live their most abundant life, and part of that is sharing some good information. So we ended where we were talking about the roof. What else did we miss asking?
Right. Roof coatings. Where sometimes a person would have a flat deck roofing, road roofing, and they would coat it with a polymer, rubber polymer. I think that the rubber polymer is a great product, works very well. But insurance companies do not recognize that as additional years to the life expectancy
That's interesting.
of a flat roof. But it does work.
Okay.
It does.
So
Keeps it from leaking.
Yeah,
Right.
it keeps it from leaking. So I haven't discovered really how to deal with that aspect of it. We can still, we put in the life expectancy of the original roof, even though it's been coated, but yet still recommend or suggest to the insurance company that roof has another 5 years or 3 years of life expectancy. But they don't have to accept that.
Of course.
Yeah, that's
and
unfortunate.
what have you. You can buy the stuff from Home Depot, Lowe's, or any of those places. And it even does say it's 5-year, 10-year, 15-year warranty.
Okay.
As far as extending your life. But as far as I know, as far as citizen, they don't really accept it as.
Right.
But it's still a benefit to the customer. So
Right,
it may not
yeah.
be immediate discount, but it's savings in the long
It's
run.
going to
for them.
prolong,
Right.
it's going to prolong
so
life.
that makes
Right.
a difference.
Exactly. So it's a toss-up between
Right.
whether or not the insurance company take a look at our photos and then also realize that the roof is original, but yet it was coated, which protected it, which prolonged it, and still give you whatever valuable discounts that is. But
And sometimes the value is just the life expectancy being extended versus just
Right.
immediate,
Right, and I've noticed, even in my area where I live here on the Treasure Coast, I've noticed there are a lot more people putting metal roofs on their home. So is there an advantage to that?
Well, with metal roofs, and some people feel as though, longer life,
Okay.
which it is.
Okay.
But there's a cost to it.
Of course.
Of course. And also, they're decreasing the life expectancy of asphalt shingles or fiberglass shingles.
Oh, gotcha.
So you're going to find yourself, if you're getting those asphalt or fiberglass shingles, you're going to be finding yourself probably having to replace a roof before time.
Right.
Before-
Instead of in 20 years, you're looking at 15.
Yeah, 15, and they'll hold me to it, but I think it's supposed to even go down to 10 years for a shingle roof. So
Ouch.
Wow,
Okay,
10
I'll start putting money in the piggy bank now.
yeah,
And
you're
that's
gonna-
and that's being dictated by the insurance companies.
right.
Right.
Them and
see,
whoever
somewheres-
makes those rules. And
Yeah, but the funny thing is, as past bankers, that if you had a life expectancy of the roof on 25 years, well, you blessed the property appraisal
That's
and then
right.
you moved on.
Right.
So now that impacts everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
And now they're going to lower it. So even with the metal roof, when would the life expectancy of that be then?
That's supposed to change. Well, it depends on the gauge metal that you also get as well. It depends on what type of warranty your guy gives, your installer gives you, and then also what the insurance companies still say.
Of course.
Okay.
And what have you. But I feel right now, at least 30 years is probably about average, depending on the type of gauge and quality
Right.
of roof you actually get.
Okay.
Yeah, so
there.
it's similar to the shutters. You want the best shutters, so you want, whatever
But a
metal
better
needs to
gauge
go up.
level.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And oftentimes, so here's this with the shutters. and stuff. You go out and you install the shutters yourself, but you buy them from secondhand places that don't have the sticker, don't have the engraving on there. You think you get A rating shutters, but you're really perhaps getting B or C or type of shutter. So it's really important to know what type of shutters you have on your home, for one thing, and then that way you wouldn't have spent all this money for, say, a B-rated shutters, where you thought you had the full coverage.
Full A-rated.
Right, for A-rated type of shutters.
Gotcha.
And it adds value to your house if you're, going back to the roof and the other things. All that makes a difference.
Right.
Well, and if we were to take that, I mean, there are other things that, have an impact on that, not just the roof. We talked about trampolines, right? So
Right.
what about swimming pools?
Oh yeah, swimming pools also is a rate increase because of the liability. Insurance company do want to see the fence.
The gate.
Okay.
Yep.
The safety gate.
Yep. They absolutely want to see that. So when we come out, we do recommend to pull that out so we can show the insurance company that you do have a fence around the pool, or
Of course.
even if it's taken down, at least that you have the equipment.
That you have the equipment.
Right.
You need.
You have the equipment. You have the holes there for the safety fence.
Okay.
And what have you. And anything you can do to be proactive to keep your insurance low.
And is that required even if you have your yard fully fenced in?
Yes, we're finding that as well.
Okay.
And so, I wish it was a standard across the board for all the insurance companies to say, hey, we accept this, and we accept it, but you get one that says, this is fine with me, the other one says, no, not good.
So there's not consistency.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's where it's really important for people to shop their companies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that's, again, where we keep the database, we could help them and give them
Absolutely.
good referrals, so we could protect you, even beyond the sale,
Right.
yourself, or us.
Yeah, and that's a huge sticking point. There are people who've had the same companies that they've been with for a matter of years, and there's always been that level of loyalty. But what we're finding is sometimes that loyalty is extremely one-sided.
Right. Yeah.
And so next thing you know, this company that you've been with for a matter of years, maybe never filed a claim with, that your bill was an average of $2,500 a year, is now coming in at $5,000 or higher on an
Right.
annualized basis.
Absolutely.
Sounds
And that's
like
when people
taxes.
move, when they
That's
or
right.
discover when that rate goes up that much,
They're
which is now common. We're
Yes.
finding increased rates of $3,000, $4,000 for the same house, same location, same insurance company, same policy. And
So the pool really could add up more. So if you have the child fencing, and then you have the fencing around the yard, is that better?
oh, absolutely.
So
Definitely.
then it would
Yeah,
be
the
a
more-
little, something would be applied.
Right.
Discount that way, or not as high.
Right, exactly, because the insurance company take in consideration all those things. And
Now,
what
is
have
there
you.
a minimum, like, a surrounding fence level that insurance companies commonly
well,
look for?
Well, just the ones that you can buy generally from a pool company or a pool installer. That's going to be
okay.
whatever
That's
standard.
the safety fence.
Right,
Okay,
the safety
gotcha.
fence. Right.
What about
yeah.
the outdoor fence?
The outdoor fence? That pretty much can be whatever the county or building
Okay.
department would
Would
allow.
require, okay,
Right,
so that can
exactly.
vary from county to county.
Right, exactly.
Does it matter if it's in-ground or above-ground? I mean, I know most in this area probably are, in-ground pools, but just in general.
Probably more so in-ground is what
Okay.
area we kind of know a little bit more about, but we can always
Of
get that
course.
information and find out, or you can ask your insurance company and say,
Okay,
hey,
we can
my
look into
pool's
that.
above ground, what type of protection or discount could I get by having a pool to protect it so that it won't be as high as a liability as
course.
it would if I didn't have anything. I just
Gotcha,
built one.
gotcha.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
but,
Another thing to check off,
Right.
while you're in the process
Right.
of buying and getting the mortgage, so there's no surprise, and then you truly have your total monthly expense.
Right, exactly. And when we do inspections now, we highly recommend we can do a preliminary inspection as far as give you an idea of the impact of the insurance
Okay.
before you even have the home inspected. Because
And that's a good point, is making sure that if you have a renewal coming
Right.
up
right,
with your insurance company, and you're hearing all of these things out there
Yeah.
about these increases, may not be a bad idea.
absolutely.
Yeah, it should
Absolutely.
be worth it, really.
And what have you. We have customers all the time that sends us their reports to review to see if there's anything that they're missing from the inspection report that they can, of course, take advantage of. And, that at the end of the show, we give you my email. You can go to our website, email.
Absolutely.
You can also call us in order to send that information to us. We review it absolutely free.
Well, and that's a really good point. And I know that we've had Calvin on here before.
Right.
We've made mention of that
Yep.
in the past. And we'll have him on here again because he's
absolutely.
always got great information. But sadly, that takes us to the end of our show.
that was quick.
That
So
was
it's so quick, right?
Right.
And that just shows you how valuable the information is that we have. And I'm sure all of you out there have questions. So if they wanted to reach you, Calvin, what's the best way for them to reach out?
They can reach me by my phone number, 772-224-5655. Email, which would be calvinjohnson772@gmail.com. Or they can go to our website at www.vcitahomeInspection.com.
Oh, fantastic.
Perfect.
And thank you guys so much.
Yep, thank you for joining us. Be
Yes,
kind,
thank you.
everybody. I'm Rebecca Danise. My number's 203-482-7297. Give us some ideas or suggestions, or if you want to be on the show.
Yeah, and if you have questions for myself as well, you can always reach out to me. Or again, we've talked about suggestions for future shows. We're always open for topics.
Right.
And if you have something of interest for Calvin specifically, we would love for you to,
Right, absolutely.
share that with us as well. My number is 772-579-9536.